In the last 50 years, over 100 people have reported seeing a creature with glowing red eyes and massive wings. But could the Mothman really be a harbinger of doom? The Mothman, part myth, part monster, and entirely mysterious. First appearing in the late 1960s near the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, this winged figure has since captivated the minds of countless individuals around the world. Witnesses describe it as a humanoid creature standing around 7 feet tall, with a 10-foot wingspan, and glowing red eyes that pierce through the night. It doesn't speak, but its presence is enough to chill the blood. In many accounts, it doesn't even flap its wings to fly, it simply lifts off the ground and glides eerily through the air. Its appearances were sudden, its behavior unexplained, and the fear it instilled, unforgettable. Over time, Mothman transcended its local roots and embedded itself in global folklore. Its influence can be seen in books, conspiracy theories, movies, and even pop culture merchandise. Point Pleasant holds an annual Mothman festival that draws thousands of curious attendees every year, and a towering metallic statue of the creature stands in the heart of the town. But behind the festivities and the fascination lies a deeper question that continues to provoke debate. Is the Mothman just a tall tale, or is it something more sinister? Perhaps even supernatural? The debate surrounding Mothman is not just about belief versus skepticism, it touches on something much deeper, our need to understand the unexplained. For every witness who comes forward with a detailed account of their encounter, there's a skeptic eager to dismantle it with logical reasoning. Some say the creature is nothing more than a large bird, perhaps a sandhill crane or a barn owl, misidentified under stress or fear. Others point to mass hysteria, a psychological phenomenon where communities experience collective delusions driven by anxiety or trauma. And of course, there's always the possibility of hoaxes, stories made up for attention, fame, or simply mischief. But here's where things get complicated. The Mothman story doesn't rely on one or two individuals. During the peak of sightings in the 1960s, dozens, if not hundreds, of people claimed to have seen the creature. They came from all walks of life, teenagers, couples, police officers, firefighters, and respected townsfolk. Many had nothing to gain from going public with their stories. In fact, some were ridiculed and ostracized. Yet their descriptions remained eerily consistent: glowing red eyes, large wings, no visible arms, and a haunting presence. Even skeptics find it hard to dismiss the volume and consistency of reports. What adds to the intrigue and terror is the pattern that seems to follow Mothman sightings. Often, appearances of the creature are followed by disasters. The most well-known of these is the collapse of the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant on December 15, 1967. The bridge, built in the 1920s, suddenly gave way during rush hour, plunging cars and people into the icy Ohio River. 46 lives were lost. In the aftermath, many pointed to the surge in Mothman sightings in the months leading up to the disaster. Some believed the creature was a warning, a grim messenger heralding catastrophe. Others thought it might have been directly involved. Our journey into the Mothman legend begins on the night of November 15, 1966. Two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Millette, were driving near the old TNT area, an abandoned World War II munitions factory on the outskirts of Point Pleasant. As they cruised through the dark, rural roads, they claimed to see a large, gray figure standing near the road. It had glowing red eyes and enormous wings. As they sped away in terror, the creature reportedly took flight and followed their car for several miles, effortlessly keeping up, even at speeds approaching 100 miles per hour. The encounter was so disturbing that they immediately went to the local police, visibly shaken. The story hit the local newspaper the next day with the headline, "Couple See Man-Sized Bird. Creature. Something." That one headline lit the fuse. Within days, other residents came forward with similar experiences. A group of gravediggers claimed they saw a brown human being soar over the trees. A local contractor reported seeing the creature perched on a nearby building. Even members of law enforcement acknowledged receiving multiple reports, enough to warrant concern. The sightings continued throughout the fall and early winter, often around the TNT area, which became the focal point of local lore. People began to flock there, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive being. What they found was not always the Mothman, but their fear was very real. Then came the tragedy that changed everything. On December 15, 1967, at around 5 p.m., the Silver Bridge collapsed. It was a busy day, with holiday shoppers returning home, and the bridge was packed with vehicles. Without warning, a critical suspension chain failed, and the entire structure gave way. The collapse was sudden and catastrophic. Cars plunged into the freezing water, and many victims were trapped inside. In the days following the disaster, as the town grieved, something strange happened. The Mothman sighting stopped. For some, this eerie silence confirmed their fears. The creature had come as a warning, and once the tragedy struck, it left. But the story doesn't end in West Virginia. Over the years, reports of Mothman, or creatures resembling it, have surfaced in different parts of the world. In 1986, workers in Pripyat, Ukraine, claimed to see a winged humanoid near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant shortly before the reactor explosion. In 2001, several residents in New York City allegedly reported seeing a similar figure flying near the Twin Towers in the days before the 9/11 attacks. In 2007, witnesses in Minneapolis claimed to see a dark, winged creature before the I-35 West Bridge collapse. While mainstream science dismisses these stories as urban legend, the sheer number of eerily similar accounts has created an unsettling pattern that believers find hard to ignore. One of the most compelling and emotional testimonies comes from Linda Scarberry, one of the first 4 witnesses. In later interviews, she revealed how deeply the experience had affected her. She spoke of nightmares, lingering anxiety, and a sense of being watched for years afterward. At times, she broke down crying, describing the red eyes that seemed to see straight through her. These accounts were not just casual sightings, they left psychological scars. And Linda wasn't alone. Several other witnesses reported strange symptoms, insomnia, paranoia, and unexplained illnesses. Could encountering the Mothman have deeper effects than just fear? Then there's the infamous photograph, allegedly taken just moments before the Silver Bridge collapsed. In the grainy image, a shadowy figure appears to be perched atop the bridge's support cables. To skeptics, it's nothing more than a bird. To believers, it's undeniable proof. The photo has been studied, enhanced, and debated endlessly. But no conclusive answer has ever been found. This ambiguity is at the core of the Mothman phenomenon, never fully provable, but never fully deniable either. Some theorists propose the Mothman is not of this world. A few believe it's an interdimensional being that slips into our reality during times of intense energy or tragedy. Others speculate it could be a government experiment gone wrong, a cryptid creature that escaped detection, or even a guardian spirit, warning humanity of danger. Each theory is more fantastical than the last, but in the absence of definitive proof, they all find a place in the conversation. The Mothman legend endures because it taps into something primal, our fear of the unknown and our instinct to find meaning in chaos. It represents a blend of mystery, tragedy, and awe that resonates across cultures and generations. Whether you believe it's a misunderstood animal, a prophetic specter, or a modern myth, its impact is undeniable. It has left a permanent mark on Point Pleasant and on the world of cryptozoology. The annual festival, the museum, the statue, they're all testaments to how a single unexplained event can evolve into a global phenomenon. In the end, the Mothman may not just be a creature. It might be a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears, our longing for answers, and the stories we create to make sense of a senseless world. Perhaps that's the true power of legends like this, they stay with us, whether we want them to or not. So, what do you believe? Is the Mothman a warning, a myth, or something much more real than we'd like to admit? Have you ever encountered something strange, something that defied explanation? Share your thoughts, theories, or personal stories in the comments below. And if this story intrigued you, don't miss our next deep dive into the legend of the Jersey Devil, another chilling mystery that's been haunting forests and minds for centuries.